What's going on, beautiful people? It's your boy here, Wesley from aconnectiontv.com and AConnectionTV here on YouTube, the two places on the World Wide Web where we actually adopt similar connections despite our differences. If this is your first time seeing me, make sure you click that subscribe button and click that like button and also click that ring that bell so you can be notified whenever I upload videos. I upload a plethora, a diverse collection of videos here on YouTube. Also, if you would be so kind as to join my miniature Netflix, it's called aconnectiontv.com, aka watchactv.com. We produce original scripted content. So if you like web series, if you like short films, cartoons, movies, and things of the sort, made by people that look like you, then definitely go to that website. The link is below and subscribe. Now, we're on episode 8 entitled Live or Let Die. And last week, we were tuned into Jenna winning against Tori. It was a close one, so it's not like, you know, Jenna slammed Tori, but nevertheless, she won anyway. So, yeah, Tori's gone. I love Tori. So, you know, I'm like, but I love Jenna too. I think these two, Tori and Jenna, play the game very, like, fair and square, and I like that about them. They're not, you know, manipulative, or they're not like they think they the shit and then they try to run rank on people. So I like Tori and Jenna. So it was a good competition. Jenna won. We get to the house and they're dancing around, well, the bunker, and they're dancing around the Trinities like, yay, we won. Yay, we won. Not really. Jenna won, so, you know, but yay, we won, cool, we got a red skull, yay. And Nisa's off in the background like, I'm not a part of y'all group, but I'm still cool with y'all, so yay, let me dance with it, let me dance with it. I'm like, all right. Kailah comes in saying that he does not want to go in. He doesn't want to worry about the purgatory because if you go in, if you put yourself in, you never know. And it's too soon to be putting yourself in. So he wants to play out the rest of the game and see how the rest of the game goes. Jordan, my man, even though he's an arrogant dude, says that, you know, I no longer have to watch what I say. I no longer have to play a certain way. I no longer have to care about how people feel about me. I no longer have to walk on eggshells. Tori is not here, so I can do whatever I want, however I want. Bananas, finally, well, no, I'm sure he's complimented people before, but he comes on the screen complimenting Jordan and saying that Jordan is basically the best and, you know, is just as good at everything like he is. He had to big himself up. And he was like, if there's anybody that he would want out of the house not to go against in a final, it would be Jordan. Wes and D are talking. Of course, D is Wes's minion, and they're discussing Jordan. Everyone hates Jordan in the house, but people are scared to go against him because he is a beast. Bear and Kailah, probably one of the most kind of acts I can see on TV, only because Kailah had, which was said to be a very good dude waiting for her at home, and she decided to do this so not really caring and just throw everything away on national TV. So, you know, played the hell out of this dude. And that's why I'm kind of like, that really sucks. You know, so I'm not team Kailah in this particular instance. Although, you know, before she got in this house, I was definitely team Kailah. I thought team Kailah was cool. But this is kind of reminiscent of what Cara did. I stopped liking Cara when she started fooling around with Homeboy in the bus. We haven't seen Homeboy back since. But ever since then, Cara has changed. And now, you know, I look at Kailah and I'm like, But Kailah and Bear are kissing each other. Bear's talking about, oh, I'm in love. Nelson starts working out. And baby, when I tell you, Nelson is fine as freak, okay? I don't know what the Babbage chick was doing leaving him. Maybe he, you know, maybe he's childish. Maybe he's immature. Maybe maybe he's not a well-off thousandaire like Swaggy C. You know, Swaggy C be making $60,000 a day, you know, on a good day or on a bad day. However he counts his pockets, I don't know. But maybe that's why Babbitt's left him. But nobody can take his looks away from him. Nelson is fine as shit. So when Nelson is working out, I'm all salivating at the mouth watching the screen. And then Nelson does something that the cameraman that was filming had to freaking record at the position the way that he did that. Nelson did this arch, this Nicki Minaj influenced arch that just poked his butt all the way up in the air, and it was just like, wow. I wish Nelson with doing OnlyFans. We get right to the challenge, the challenge, and I'm really feeling this. I'm like, yes, this is what I wanted. They gave us 2 fluff episodes with 5 and 6, then we came back with 7, now 8, boom. They come on, when we see one elimination, boom, we to the next elimination challenge. I like that. That was dope. That's what I wanted. It's a double elimination week for the guys. Wes wins the first round, hands down. Everybody else in round 1 was like, let's work together, let's work together, let's work together. It was 3 or 4 against 1 Wes, and Wes wins. Wes is a beast. Round 2, Nelson doesn't come out of the phone for whatever reason. He's stuck in the phone for a very long time. But what he thought he was gonna do was that he was gonna allow everybody to build up their thing and then come out and just copy them. Wasn't a good idea, because you never know who's gonna get it right or not. Nelson doesn't get it right, and Fessy ends up winning, and D ends up winning by default. Then we get to round 3, and Bananas is probably the smartest one in this particular situation, because he actually does not go into the phone. Well, he went into the phone once, and he comes out, and he notices that you can see the colors on the side of the wall. So he just goes ahead and counts the colors on the side of the wall. Very smart. That would have been something that I would have done. Definitely would have. So Bananas wins, and Big T wins by default. Mattie ends up winning, because she won in the first round. So she ends up winning the whole time throughout the whole challenge for the women. And then Wes ends up being the final guy. Mattie and Wes have to decide who they want to go in the tribunal. Of course, Wes picks Bananas. And it's then and only then that the rest of the house is put on game, because apparently they didn't understand or realize that Wes and Bananas were team Wes and Bananas. Because we know that this is a guy's elimination and it's a double elimination, Nelson is already like, I apologize, don't put me in, I apologize, don't put me in, and I'm like, okay. Nelson, you are like fit as crap. Like, whoever you go against, you have a great opportunity of getting a red skull, so you might as well just go in. Everybody has to go in if they're trying to get to the final. Like, who are you waiting for to be left so that you can go up against them? I don't know. That's like where my head is. Like, why are we, like, I don't know. And then after you did Anissa that dirty and you did Kailah that dirty, why would you grovel to them? I just wouldn't. I've apologized. I'm not saying anything else. That's it. But I never went with that far as Nelson did. I never went with that far. But it is what it is. He's trying to make his rounds. And the ladies are looking at him like, boy, please. Fessy, we're at the nominations, and Fessy's like, listen, it's cool. I know we all have to go in, but I'm just letting y'all know if I go in, I'm coming back, and if I come back, just be warned. I'm like, oh, okay, all right, Fessy. You're finally showing up to the episode, okay. Episode 8, it took Fessy episode 8 to come through and do something. I'm like, okay, Fessy, yeah, we're scared. Granted, Fessy is a big dude, but I mean, really? Okay. Nelson, king of messing up nominations. And so, Nelson comes up and, it's brought to everybody's attention that Nelson has made promises to everybody in the house and has made the same promise to everybody in the house. So Kyle puts him on Front Street and he's like, yeah, Nelson said this. Then Swaggy said, Nelson said this to me. Then Melissa said, Nelson said this to me. Everybody, Nelson said. So Nelson digs himself even deeper into the grave. And it's Fessy and Nelson being picked for elimination or purgatory. And then we get to the tribunal. This is a very straightforward episode. I'm loving it. We get to the tribunal and Wes, Mattie, and which Mattie don't really have a say in this, is Wes and Bananas decide that they're gonna pick Jordan, Cory, Kyle, and Bear to go into the purgatory lineup. Long story short, we get to the club. For whatever reason, every time we get to these clubs, they drink a lot and there's always some words exchanged. We already know that Nelson is a hothead. He can be a hothead. I mean, he went up against Derek, for God's sake, and mushed Derek in the face, for God's sake. We also know that Nelson is not a pushover. Like, you're not gonna one up Nelson. You're just not. I just don't see it happening. And even like if Nelson and Kyle were to scrap, I really don't see Kyle coming out as the winner. I just don't. I just don't. Even though Kyle is 6 whatever and all, I just don't see him coming out as the winner. I really don't. I don't know. Kyle come across as, like Nelson said, Kyle come across to me as a pussy. Not because Kyle put Nelson's business out on Front Street. He just comes across to me as a pussy. Whatever. Anyways, they get into this like staring like match or whatever, and Nelson does the patronizing like, bruh, like you're 6 whatever and you're a pussy. So Kyle doesn't like that, and Kyle like moves his hand and like goes in him like this, and I'm like, Nelson, please don't hit this boy. Nelson, please don't hit this boy. Please don't hit this boy. Out of nowhere, Josh is watching and admiring these two go after each other. And so Josh intervenes like, no, stop, separate it, no. And I'm like, okay. Before this happens, though, Melissa, and I don't know where Melissa and Kyle became like butt buddies, but Melissa and Kyle are like besties. This is the first episode that Melissa comes into the scene. Hell, this is the first episode that Kyle comes to the scene. And of course, Nelson has to be the reason why Melissa and Kyle comes to the show finally. But Melissa's like, well, if Nelson thinks that he's gonna go after Kyle, then he's gonna have a problem with me because Kyle is my friend and I'm not gonna let Nelson do anything to hurt Kyle. So, there's back and forth going on, and everybody is looking at Nelson like he's crazy because to everyone, Nelson has started the fight because Nelson has ruffled quite a few feathers since he's been in the house. But Kyle don't want it with Nelson. He just don't. I'm not saying that Nelson could beat Kyle in an elimination or whatever the case, but in a straight battle, a fight, I don't think Kyle want them problems. Everybody seems to love Big T, and I don't have a problem with Big T. I think Big T is cool. I mean, I don't understand why she only has like 1,500 followers on Twitter, but and she's not verified. But she's cool. But she's been shown on episodes way more than a lot of other people that you would have thought been shown on episodes. But it's whatever. She's booty drunk, and she ends up breaking her toe or bleeding. Her toe's bleeding, or she sprains her toe or something. But she is wasted beyond compare. Like she's gone. And I'm like, oh, Jesus, girl, what is wrong with you, sis? What is wrong with you? She drunk. I'm glad she didn't fight anybody or whatever the case may be, and everybody loves her and they let her be drunk. You gotta love them and you gotta hate them. Wes decides that Jordan needs to go one hand and all against Fessy in a pole grab. And I'm like, okay, that's effed up. But they don't really like each other, so it doesn't really matter. They can respect each other from a competition standpoint, but Wes wants Jordan out the game, so this is the way to get Jordan out the game. Jordan plays to the end, and he ends up losing because something happens with his shoulder when he slams on his shoulder. He was going to lose anyway. He has one hand, and Fessy is a big dude. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. We get Nelson to go against Bear because Mattie calls out Bear. Not sure why Mattie called out Bear, but she called out Bear. I don't like Bear, so I don't really care. And Nelson and Bear ends up going against each other. And, Nelson's not a pushover. Bear's not a pushover. He's not, but Nelson is a beast. Like, Nelson is, physically fit. He's a beast. Did you see his stance when he was punching and doing the box? He's a beast. And, of course, he wins. Bear didn't get one round. Nelson won. It was like lightweight for him, and I'm happy for that because I like Nelson being in the house. I just wish Nelson would get to a final and stop being the one that stops himself from getting to a freaking final. During this whole situation, though, Josh and the ladies are in their feelings that Bear was sent down. They feel blindsided. And I'm like, why are you blindsided? But apparently, because Swaggy is Wes's number 1 or number 2, whatever, however Wes puts him and Bananas together, Swaggy's like, oh yeah, Wes was saying that throughout the whole house. And Josh is like, no, he wasn't. And so Josh puts 2 and 5 and 17 together, the bitch that he is. Josh is the pussy. Josh is the pussy, for real. And he tell that to the ladies and snitches like a bitch. And it's just like, oh, Swaggy's on my shit list. I'm going to make sure he gets put in this time. He's on my shit list. Must be rolling with Wes. And I'm like, what? Like, Josh is corny. Josh is real corny. And I can't wait to see what happens in the next episode because him and Swaggy go at it so bad that Swaggy tells Josh to suck his, and I'm just like, whoa, like, okay, Swaggy, calm down, brother, man, calm down. But then again, next week is the girls' elimination. So Swaggy ain't going home next week. So I'm good with that. And I'm good with him going after Josh because I didn't like Josh since Big Brother. So I'm good with all that. But I don't want him to get into any fisticuffs and go home. Let me know what y'all thought about this particular episode. Did y'all like it? Did y'all like it? Did y'all hate it? Did y'all hate it? Who's your fave? Let me know who's your top 3 below. Thank you guys for watching. And again, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at AConnectionTV. And go and subscribe to WatchACTV.com. Deuces.
White, what happened to us?
You tell me.
I don't know. I'm just trying to figure all this out.
Yeah, me too.
What the fuck you mean? Why are you on the Bad Girls Club season 0? I don't see transgender in a title, do you?
Stop putting your hands on me, Mitchell. We are not about to start doing this. I am not Cory.
You're walking on thin ice, Miss Lady. And I suggest you don't take another step.
I know. Y'all not about to think about not subscribing to AConnectionTV.com. Copyrighted.